We know awkward fighters. Real fighters know awkward fighters. He's not an awkward fighter. He's just a dumb fighter.
Trying to kill me or I'm trying to kill you. You know, I think it's let's go in here and make this money. You know, it's more of a business tactic than anything.
Tank is not the guy that knows how to sell a fight. Tank cannot sell a fight in his own division. You have the Paul brothers and they come over to boxing. Their idea from day one is we don't have the skills or the experience. What we're going to do is we'll take on the absolute best guys, but they're going to spot us somehow.
At a high-tension press event, Gervonta "Tank" Davis lit up the room with a direct warning aimed at Jake Paul. His message was blunt, precise, and left no room for misinterpretation. He declared this fight won't be close. Davis promised to control the bout from the opening bell, hinting that the night could end far sooner than anyone expects, all while securing the victory and the payday he's earned. Every word was delivered with an icy calm and absolute focus, projecting a confidence that seemed to fill the room. There was no hesitation, no attempt to soften the edge, just a calculated assertion of dominance. Beneath the bravado, the statement carried real gravity. It read less like hype and more like a warning of what's to come. For regulators, fans, and critics watching intently, this press appearance transformed from routine promotion into a defining prelude, setting the tone and expectations for the showdown to come.
He's a fighter that's just started fighting. That's, you know how when somebody first come in the gym and yeah. When somebody first come in the gym and they've been coming for like a little minute, so they think they nice now. They ain't get all the everything down pat, but that's how he fight. I don't think he's an awkward fighter. Awkward is somebody, I don't want to call them names, but awkward is different from him. He's not awkward. We know awkward fighters. Real fighters know awkward fighters. He's not an awkward fighter. He's just a dumb fighter. When
pressed on the unusual matchup between Davis and Paul, promoter Eddie Hearn didn't mince words. He dismissed the bout as little more than entertainment dressed up as a legitimate fight. Hearn drew a clear line between serious, high-level boxing and the spectacle-driven events that have increasingly flooded the scene, placing this contest squarely in the latter camp. With a knowing smirk, he cautioned fans against confusing a flashy payday with the discipline, skill, and respect that professional boxing demands. His comments reflected a broader tension in the sport, a concern that celebrity-driven bouts, while lucrative, risk overshadowing the tradition and credibility that boxing has painstakingly built over decades. For Hearn, the stakes extend beyond one event. He sees it as a fight to preserve the sport's integrity for the next generation of fighters and fans alike, ensuring that boxing remains more than just a spectacle.
Paul and Gervonta Davis, what can you tell me about that? What can you tell me about why Jake and Anthony has maybe been put to the side for now?
Yeah, they always told us that it was, we were looking at that fight for February of next year, and they always said that there was a chance that Jake would fight in November. I think, wasn't I the one that broke Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis 6 months ago or something? I knew that they'd agree that deal. I didn't know they were about to announce it then, but I did know that they'd agreed that deal previously. So I don't like it, if I'm honest. I mean, I think we need to really differentiate between boxing and an entertainment concept, and that's what that is. It's a freak show. It's entertainment. It's a lightweight fighting a cruiserweight. With, I don't know, is it bigger gloves and certain minutes per round? I don't know what it is, but, I understand the market and I understand this freak show shock kind of the world mentality of people potentially tuning in. Is that a step too far? Maybe. I mean, I hated Jake Paul against Mike Tyson, but it did massive numbers. I hate Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis. It'll probably do massive numbers. So that's when you really have to differentiate yourself between, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it isn't going to do good business. However you want to be involved with it is another kettle of fish. I don't want to be involved with it, but I do respect the fact that it's going to do big numbers.
From a different angle, Ariel Helwani offered a perspective that challenged the critics. He highlighted a curious double standard. MMA fans readily embrace spectacle-driven matchups, yet when boxing tries the same approach, the backlash is swift and harsh. To Helwani, that inconsistency borders on hypocrisy. He suggested that the Davis vs. Paul showdown shouldn't be weighed against the rigor and prestige of championship-level bouts. Instead, it should be seen for what it is, a sports entertainment event designed to capture attention, spark conversation, and deliver a night fans won't forget. By framing it this way, Helwani shifted the debate, reminding audiences that not every fight has to serve the sport's legacy, some exist simply to entertain in the moment. His perspective encourages fans to reconsider their judgments, questioning whether criticism comes from genuine concern or an attachment to old-school tradition.
I'm sure it'll be a little bit closer, maybe 200 to 150. Like, how much bigger can Tank get? Why would that be somewhat celebrated in MMA, but in boxing it isn't? Do you know what I mean, Pizzi? In MMA, like, we sort of love the freak shows, but in boxing they don't. Why do you think that is? What does that say about us in MMA?
Well, we're a sick bunch of fucks. There's no doubt about that. But I will say,
you agree, right, or no?
Yeah. Like, the idea of the MMA freak show is everybody coming together and saying, "Oh, we're gonna watch a freak show. This is what this is. We know what this is. It is absolutely mental. What we're gonna watch here." I think where people get annoyed with Jake is, like, you know, he even got me. You know what I mean? This guy is the greatest outrage farmer of all time. I saw his tweet and I was like, reading it, you know what I mean? And I was like, well, this is exactly what he fucking wants me to do. You know, like, this is every time I'm doing this, he's in the game of getting eyeballs, and this is ridiculous. As long as, like, you know, why do I like an MMA freak show? Why would I watch Eddie Hall in an MMA fight against Dylan Dennis? I'd be like, this is fucking ridiculous, and I have to watch it. That's the way I feel about Jake Paul and Davis. I will watch it. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's all of us getting together to go to the circus for the evening. I think the reason why there's pushback against it when Jake does it is because Jake, and obviously tactfully, is going like, what are you talking about? This guy's a world champion. I took out Mike Tyson. He's a world champion. And then I'm going to take out Canelo and stuff like this. Like, he's winding us up. He's not agreeing to the stipulation that we're all agreeing on, which is, this is a freak show. This is absolutely mental. As long as we can agree with that, we can all enjoy it collectively.
Chael Sonnen didn't pull any punches when the conversation turned to Jake Paul. He launched a scathing critique, calling out both Paul and his brother for lacking any real claim to the title of professional boxer. In Sonnen's view, they are first and foremost influencers, using fame, social media clout, and savvy marketing to manufacture fights that appear bigger than they actually are. He argued that Jake's career has been built on targeting aging legends or opponents with recognizable names but limited threat, all while avoiding fighters who could pose a true technical challenge. For Sonnen, it's a strategic play: generate hype, cash the checks, and maintain the illusion of legitimacy. His comments cut straight to the heart of the debate over Paul's credibility, forcing fans to ask whether they're witnessing genuine skill in the ring or simply buying into a carefully crafted narrative.
Tank is not the guy that knows how to sell a fight. Tank cannot sell a fight in his own division. You have the Paul brothers and they come over to boxing. Their idea from day one is, we don't have the skills or the experience. What we're gonna do is we'll take on the absolute best guys, but they're gonna spot us some pound. Tank has one job to do, that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skill, of which I am an abundance of and of which you have none of. Tank is telling anybody that will listen that there's a size problem. My skills and my experience in boxing, I do not have to wonder who's in the bar tonight. Any bar I go to, I rule the bar. No, it turns out that you don't. Just need some big guy to corner you, apparently. Boxing has never stood its ground. Boxing has never been able to explain why Floyd needed a half hour to get rid of a guy who's never boxed before. Tank Davis has already began this. When you choose a dum-dum, don't be surprised when he goes out and acts like a dum-dum.
One of the most talked about aspects of this fight is the stark size difference between the fighters. Gervonta Davis is a natural lightweight, while Jake Paul usually competes near the cruiserweight limit, a gap that isn't just a minor detail. Critics argue that the matchup is inherently lopsided, giving Paul an immediate physical edge before a single punch is thrown. But the debate goes beyond mere numbers on a scale. A win for Paul could earn him a measure of credibility for taking down a recognized star, while a victory for Davis might be dismissed by skeptics as simply a smaller man holding his ground against a larger opponent. This tension has stirred widespread controversy, prompting discussions about matchmaking standards, fairness, and whether this bout should even be treated as a legitimate professional contest. The size disparity has become the lens through which every punch, every round, and every outcome will be analyzed, intensifying the stakes for both fighters.
You don't think... Sorry, so... I thought we were all unanimous here. Do you think that Jake Paul beats Gervonta Davis?
70 pounds is 70 pounds.
Gervonta Davis is very small. 5'5".
tiny, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Jake Paul,
It's a little
6'1".
man.
If
That's
Jake
what
Paul's
I'm saying.
tucking up
Move on.
and absorbing punishment for walking forward, then look, there's a way.
Ryan Garcia offered a pointed perspective, drawing parallels between the Davis-Paul fight and some of boxing's most unusual matchups, instances where stars like Mike Tyson were pushed into bouts the public never truly demanded. Garcia acknowledged that this contest fits a similar mold. It wasn't fueled by genuine fan desire, but by the promise of headlines and big paydays. He didn't hold back on the obvious concern. Paul's size advantage is significant, creating an uneven playing field before the first punch lands. To Garcia, that imbalance undermines the legitimacy of the matchup, making it harder to take the contest seriously as a sporting challenge. His critique was frank and unvarnished, shining a light on a broader reality. Sometimes boxing prioritizes spectacle and hype over fairness, leaving the sport caught between tradition and entertainment.
A fucking disgrace of a fight.
Yeah.
You know it. Just like Mike Tyson, low-key was a disgrace, but we accepted it. But
Yeah.
he was 60 years old. I mean,
Right.
the casuals don't see the weight difference. They see Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
And if Gervonta Davis doesn't fuck up Jake Paul, they're gonna think Jake Paul is some pound-for-pound champion type of fighter.
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis, he's actually really small. Like, when I fought him, like, he's small.
Yeah.
So I just think it's a very unfair fight.
Jake Paul kept the media frenzy alive with another headline-grabbing stunt. In a viral clip, he demolished a custom cake shaped like Gervonta Davis, mocking his opponent in front of millions of viewers. The video spread like wildfire, proving once again that Paul is just as skilled at creating drama as he is at selling fights. Yet behind the theatrics, the matchup itself has fans genuinely intrigued. While Davis concedes size, his speed, pinpoint timing, and nearly flawless defense could challenge the larger Paul, setting up a compelling contrast, brute force and mass on one side, precise skill and agility on the other. Not everyone shares the excitement, though. Pound-for-pound star Terence Crawford dismissed the fight entirely, calling the weight gap absurd. Matching a 195-pound fighter against a man who belongs at 135, he argued, isn't a contest, it's a business gimmick disguised as boxing. Crawford's blunt critique added fuel to the ongoing debate, forcing fans to ask, is this a legitimate fight worthy of serious attention, or just another carefully engineered spectacle designed to grab headlines?